There's always just that acumen, like defenders. I think it's like.
Enough of all of that. Are we live? Of course we're live. I hope you lot can hear me. I hope everyone's in good spirits, people. Good morning to those of you in the UK. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Good morning to you lot, people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night, according to the time zone. Hopefully, I've greeted you lot properly. Hope you're all moving that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. With it being Thursday, we're closing up the week, and you know, the year's about to end. We got 2 months. Let's try and make it count, people. So I hope you're all having a good week. Hope you're all crushing it. Hope you've all got your health, and your loved ones can also say the same thing. Other than that, what have we got to complain about? Everything else is minor, really. One love to the Twitch gang. Please make sure you're following and subscribing. On that note as well, people, you know, we're here for around an hour or so, 45 to an hour, depending on how long. The good news is that from 11:30, we move over to YouTube, folks. From 11:30 to however long, we continue with Arsenal-based centric topics on YouTube, and I'll be back on Twitch at 7:15. It's obviously Belgium versus France. One love to everyone that was here for Spain versus Italy, as Spain pulled off an upset yesterday, and I kind of want to touch on Gavi on that basis in this live stream. So yeah, content galore, people, content galore. The grind don't stop, and I need to go to the gym because I have an appointment as well with a PT there. What else have I got to do? I got so much admin that I need to do when I come off these things, people, and that's why I'm not going to be on Rancy's show today, because it is what it is. And I want to speak about the Newcastle thing. Of course, I want to more focus in depth for how that's going to affect Arsenal, but I want to speak in general about it here, people. Now, I've got so many tabs open. I'm not going to lie, you know, we might as well start there if I'm completely honest with you. Let's just kick off with the Newcastle thing. Now, for me, I think people need to calm it down. I think, you know, when Manchester City got bought, they took a while to get to where Manchester City are at this moment in time. City had to get a lot wrong. You know, I think Pep Guardiola has to probably pay homage to Mancini, Pellegrini, people that were his City forefathers, if I'm honest with you, before it got to that point. So it is one of those things. But on the other hand, it is worrying. It is worrying to Arsenal in that what I mean by it, that is it's not going to be a year and that they overtake us. In the next following years, they could, you know, depending on star signings and all of that. They probably, like with City, they needed that one superstar player to flow in and then the rest flew in. You know, probably have to tell little white lies to foreign players and say Newcastle is as lively as London. And then after that, it'll be all right. Where I'm worried is I actually applaud Newcastle for getting new owners. Again, I think Newcastle's a big club, a sleeping giant. Like Arsenal fans, it's probably hard to sit there and watch Newcastle week in, week out, year in, year out when it doesn't reflect what you want. So just to know they have some ambition, you know, better the devil you don't know than the one you do know in Mike Ashley. I know people are going to probably raise the ethics and say it's the ethical billionaires and everything that the Saudi-based investment group may or may not be doing. I can't comment on that. But what I will say is you could probably see how this will have a knock-on effect, because I don't think there should be gatekeeping. I think anyone should be allowed to invest in the Prem. But at the same time, you know, the top four / top six, they're going to see this as someone coming and messing things up. So I don't know if this raises the question of the Super League coming back into play and all of these sort of things. I'm not really sure, but I do think they're not going to accept this lying down quietly. I think it does raise the competitiveness long term of the Premier League. Obviously, there's FFP laws to get around and all of these things, which I think Newcastle will have no problems around. You know, maybe Joe Willett knew all along, people, that about this Newcastle move. It does worry me as an Arsenal fan, because you look at probably teams like Leeds and Leicester and these sort of things, they probably will overtake Arsenal in a couple of years if we do not get our act together. So when you've got Newcastle, who immediately Steve Bruce probably on thin ice already, all it takes is a decent manager, one flagship player. 4 or 5 years from now, you know, Newcastle might be where Manchester City are. I think the owners are actually richer than Manchester City, really and truly. And if we're honest with ourselves, when Manchester City were taking over, were they bigger than Newcastle? I don't necessarily think so, really and truly. It is what it is. So it's going to be interesting to see how that impacts Arsenal and whatnot. But but I'm going to focus more on that at 11:30. But if you don't know what the hell I'm referring to, this has been on the books for a while with Newcastle. Every minute someone's going to take over, and then it doesn't happen. For what it's worth, for what it's worth, people, Newcastle takeover, Saudi-backed deal is close, as you lot can see here. People scrolling all the way down. A Saudi Arabian takeover of Newcastle United is close to being agreed. Approval from the Premier League could possibly come in the next 24 hours after a consortium proved the Saudi state would not have control of the club. Instead, the PIF, Public Investment Fund, which is set to provide 80% of the funds of this £3 million deal, will be seen as separate to the state and therefore allow the takeover to pass Premier League owners and directors test. So again, there's ways of getting around things. It's believed that the resolution came after Saudi Arabia settled an alleged piracy dispute with Qatar-based broadcaster Ben Sports, which owns rights to show Premier League matches in the Middle East. Sources have told BBC Sport that an agreement between the Premier League and the consortium was found prior to the news emerging on Wednesday, with the two parties being set for arbitration on the 3rd of January. The Saudi Arabian state, has been accused of human rights abuses, but with the majority owner PIF deemed a separate entity, that and any piracy issues are no longer an impediment to the takeover in the Premier League's view. The shock news will delight the fan base after a Newcastle Supporters Trust survey on Tuesday showed that 93% of its members were in favour of a takeover. And to be fair with you, there was also high-ranking votes from the same Supporters Trust to say Steve Bruce gone. So we're hearing, you're probably not going to see it immediately. You won't see the impacts until the following season. I think Arsenal, we might be all right. I think with Newcastle, there's ways of getting around FFP and things, but I don't know how much they make in terms of, shirt sales, their commercial revenue, their global output. There's a lot of improvements to be made. All they need is one flagship player, and everything else takes heed. But yeah, man, and obviously if this doesn't answer enough questions or provide you with enough context. I was actually reading The Athletic earlier, so while I won't bring it up, people, I'll find the article I was actually reading. Saudi Arabia financed Newcastle takeover expected to go through in the near future. The Saudi Arabian Finance Consortium's bid for Newcastle expected to go through in the near future, following a reversal of the ban on Ben Sport in the Gulf nation. A takeover saga which has now dragged on for 18 months and seen the club embroiled in legal disputes with the Premier League is now closer to being resolved, and the group led by Amanda Severly, the British businesswoman, could soon bring an end to Mike Ashley's 14-year ownership of Newcastle United, people. Apparently, I'm not going to go over the same things. Apparently, in July last year, Staveley's group pulled out of a deal to buy Newcastle after the Premier League failed to give a regulatory approval. The issue was the separation or lack of between the Saudi state and the PIF, as we just spoke about, people, as they've since come to a resolution, which would have owned 80% share of the club. Now, you can obviously see where City and probably where PSG, sorry, I'm looking at QPR highlights, but where PSG and City are concerned, you could understand maybe the Premier League of not wanting Gulf states or being backed by nations and all of these sort of things. So it makes sense, people. And then it's gone on a long list, just basically detailing everything. Interested to see who Amanda Stiverly is, because she's a British businesswoman that's part of this, and has the strong connections to the Middle East and is actually the middlewoman, really and truly, in the plug. So I'm keen to see what's going on, people. Apparently, in relation to her background, as I said, she's got strong backgrounds in the Middle East. She played a prominent role in ruling families of Abu Dhabi and Qatar, carrying out an investment of 7.3 billion in Barclays in 2008. And PCP Capital Partners, her firm, acted for Sheikh Mansour of the Abu Dhabi royal family. And obviously, Amanda was also involved in the takeover of Manchester City in the same year. So she's experienced, she's been around the block. She knows what she's doing in this regards, people. So, yeah, I don't think it's anything to get excited about today, Newcastle fans, but in years to come, you will see. In fact, it is something, because it's better than Mike Ashley, really and truly. I'm going to be real with you. So, yeah, that's that. And what it's saying there, people, please make sure you're following, you're subscribing, and you're doing the rest of it. Make sure you're setting your reminders for the live stream on YouTube at 11:30. I've just posted the link. So yeah, man, let me set up a little poll as well for you guys as well. Let me set up a little poll. Where is the poll section? There it is. New poll. Is Newcastle's takeover bad news for the Premier League? Yes. No. So obviously, Twitch gang, make sure you're involved in the poll. Take a vote. Is it bad news? Yes or no? I'll see the results of the poll, obviously, in the future, folks. So yeah, Man City are owned by a single billionaire who is a part of the royal family, not a state-owned club. Qatar and Saudi investments are state-owned funds. I mean, there's ways of dressing it, my guy, and we can get technical, but we need to be honest. City are backed by a state. PSG are backed by a state. We can, you can polish a turd as much as you want, but they're backed by a state. You got to remember who this single billionaire is a part of. Like, we need to read between the lines. It is what it is. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Obviously, for me, yeah, I think I'm going to focus about at 11:30. I just think the only bad thing about this is the Super League, because in 10 years' time, Newcastle could do what Man City's doing. They could be challenging for the Champions League and things. Real Madrid, Barcelona, all the teams that was involved in the Super League. Don't know how Spurs got there, but they don't want that. They don't want Newcastle. They don't want anyone else pushing them boundaries. If they do, with respect, they don't mind the Leicester and things, because you're not going to see Leicester drop the money that these lot are dropping on players on a single-handed. They want to just protect the monopoly. I believe in equality. I believe in fairity. So for me, I'm happy to see Newcastle fans have a bit of excitement. I'm happy to see the competitiveness of the Premier League, because we always talk about all this, that, and the third. So it's there. My worry is just the knock-on effect, and obviously the human rights things and all those things are generally something to worry about. I just think I'm worried of how the backlash is and the precedent it sets, because for me, I do think the Premier League, they moved heaven and earth to not allow these Saudis to get involved really and truly for a while. Are they gonna, what happens if the next Saudi or next Qatars or next rich Englishman or whatever, anywhere, they say, you know what, we like you doing with Newcastle, we'll buy X club or Y club or whatever. So it's the knock-on effect, really and truly. But it's happy days, man. Who knows? Joe Willock in a couple of years could be playing with Lionel Messi and Neymar and Mbappe in a couple of years. I mean, Joe Willock must have known what was going on at the club now, playing people. Mbappe to Newcastle is back trust. It's like when you get that sugar daddy perp in the Premier League, in Football Manager, and that is crazy. So yeah, man. What I will say is very difficult to tell who is ethical in terms of billionaires and things. And it's one that obviously, if you're doing things like violating human rights and things, that's obviously bad. But I mean, where are we gonna find, where are we actually gonna locate ethical billionaires? Apologies. So yeah, man. It is what it is. What are you lot saying? Check Arsenal's new tweet. What's all that? Is that something for 11:30, or is it watch along business for QPR? Jack Wilshere's training with Arsenal, so you're done. You're done though. Hey, this is lit. 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 Jack Wilshere's back. Jack Wilshere's home. Jack Wilshere's home. And I mean, and he's taking his coaching badges. Remember, I told you lot as well that I think he's going to be a manager sooner rather than later. And I think it will give him the fuel to do well as a gaffer. Obviously not fulfilling all his potential. Let's change the title of Jack Wilshere is back home. He's back at Arsenal. Change that. So we'll talk about that at 11:30. What do you mean, man? Stop cop blocking, man. Just let that be the title, man. What happened to you lot, man? Sorry, folks. StreamYard being a player hater, man. What the hell is this? Let's change that. I've got Arsenal too many times. Let's change that. All right, cool. I'll change it to AFC. But yeah, man. Anyways, back to all this, man. Shout out Jack Wilshere. We'll focus on that at 11:30. People, make sure you're all at that live stream. Please make sure you're taking part in the voting and getting your opinions in, man. You lot keep saying QPR. QPR is a fantastic example. It didn't bang for them, man. It did not bang at all for them, man. You're right. B and Pat, so big up the Bulgarians locked in. You lot are right. It don't always go right, but for me, all it takes. You look at, all it took City, they got it wrong bare times. They spent bare money and some couple crap graphers, but all it takes is that one marquee guy, that one foreign player that's certified and a top-class, world-class player in all of these things. And he says, all right, cool, I'm going to be the first to go Newcastle. Suddenly, other with respect to Newcastle, suddenly other men are on it, and then you get to a state really and truly with respect to Manchester City. Robinho thought he signing for United, but that was a means to an end. You get a decent gaffer in, like I said, you can't underestimate what Mancini, Pellegrini, all of these, even even to a degree, Mark Hughes, what these guys did to allow City to thrive. And I think the one thing I think City is different, and we'll have to learn, and PSG is that. Yeah, they might be state owners or whatever, and similar to Abramovich, but these lot wanted to have football clubs, They want to have their own pet projects of their football club, making it, achieve things in Europe and all of these sort of things. So I guess it all comes down to Newcastle, because we can't assume that these lot want to be winners and all of these things. They could be worse than Mike Ashley. They could be like Stan Kroenke. They could just be about stability. We don't know. It might not be a sugar daddy thing, pouring bare money at it. We don't actually know. So it all depends. And it's like Bluey saying, QPR owners wanted instant success. I mean, Newcastle can't be silly, or their impending new owners can't be that silly and expecting such. So it'll be an interesting one to see what happens, man. Newcastle won't turn into a top 8 side for 5 years, even with the takeover. I don't know, bro. I think they could. I really think they could. Like I said, you get a decent manager. You will have to overpay. You get that one player and they start pouring in. I think within 5 years, they could challenge for it. I know what you mean in terms of consistency and all of this. There's a plan. But I think in 5 years, they could definitely disrupt what is already the top 4 or 6, probably top 10 now, man. 4 years after the takeover, City won a league title. Exactly. So things can happen as long as the guys that are 30, as I keep saying, you can't underestimate the people behind the scenes at Man City and the people that was brought in. You can't underestimate what Pellegrini and the forefathers did to get it to a point for Pep Guardiola to take over. And he's obviously Mr. Creme de la Creme. Another Arteta masterclass, not signing Bissouma, genius, bro. Then, but Bissouma, we're gonna get onto him. We're gonna get onto him, boy. And again, I don't want to speculate on certain things until it's been confirmed. But wait, don't look good. And all of a sudden, me personally, I'm trying to delete all them videos I was saying grab Bissouma. I can't associate with them Dutchavelli sort of man there. If I'm honest with you. And on the topic of Bissouma, let's just get through it quickly, man. Like obviously, I want to urge in, not. I ain't defending Bissouma, same way I didn't defend Mendy. If you, my heart goes out to the victim or alleged victim or victims of any crime, especially sexual assault, because I think in the world it's not taken seriously. In this country, even when people are found not guilty, they still probably are guilty. There's a lot. It takes a lot actually to convict someone of sexual assault, of rape, of all of these things. And for me, it's the victim I feel sorry for, because sadly, when it's a footballer's case, people are gonna say she or whatever is lying. They're gonna be stress tests. Hopefully, their names aren't made public and things, or name isn't made public and all of these things. So my first thoughts go to the victim. As usual, obviously, with respect to the victim, it's not a celeb to my knowledge. So obviously, Bissouma is going to be the one that sells the papers, but it's quickly become Bissouma, same way it became Mendy, and it wasn't about the victim or victims or alleged victim or victims. And that's what we need to focus on. Again, physical wounds may heal. You can get over this incident, but again, mentally, these things are not going to leave this poor lady, assuming this happened, man. So it is what it is. What I don't want to do, as I said, is speculate. Let's see things happen over time. It's one of these things where you can't, I don't want to say innocent until proven guilty, but there is an element of that. And it's one of these, you have to be very careful before you throw allegations, especially on someone's name for someone like this, and it is upsetting because it's the second footballer that's kind of been involved in a madness. I know we've got people that were at Everton and doing a Mazza and whatnot. A certain City player is locked up and things like that. And I don't want to speculate, but I'm sure you all saw on social media, actually before it became official, I know you saw images or footage emerging of Bissouma being arrested in the early hours of the morning yesterday. Now, it looked like it was at a nightclub. I don't know nothing about Brighton. The video's not playing, but you can find it. You can surface it online. I'm sure you've all seen it or come across it. But what it's worth here, Premier League star Bissouma arrested in bar and led out in cuffs in 2 a.m. drama. Premier League ace Bissouma was handcuffed by cops and marched out of a nightclub in the early hours of yesterday. The in-demand Brighton midfielder spent the day in custody after being arrested in the city. Scrolling all the way down, you can see all these images. Shocked revelers last night told how they saw a Premier League ace, Bissouma, being marched out of a packed nightclub in handcuffs by police. We all know he's been linked with Liverpool, Manchester United and Arsenal, and had been partying with a pal in the early hours of yesterday when cops were called. An insider allegedly said the club was packed. It was a popular student night, especially with freshers in town. People were starstruck to see Bissouma in the club. He's Brighton's best player at the moment, so he definitely caught some eyes. They were even more shocked to see him being led out in handcuffs outside the club. Now, the two incidences may or may not be necessarily correlated, but I mean, there's two people that were allegedly nicked. Bissouma's been nicked. Premier League footballers been nicked. I don't know. Louder jokes, my guy. You know, Prison FC, it might have a decent team, but I mean, we don't support rapists, bro. Them and they can't, if any sexual abuse and that, them and they can't step off the wing. They can't, bro. They're gonna have to stay in their cells, or they're gonna get hot watered. They're gonna get done in. You know, the govs are probably gonna do them. If you know, get them done. If you know, you know. But anyways, Bissouma wearing a check shirt, a check shirt styled hoodie, was filmed by onlookers on the Brighton seafront being led away by two police officers. His friend, who is in his 40s, was also arrested. And I mean, you lot are sounding a bit mad. Maybe you're just in the club, but when I hear freshers, what's that? 18 to early 20-year-old uni students. I know Bissouma's 25, but I mean, it's not sounding a bit. It's not sounding wavy. I don't know what Brighton's got, but there must be one where you can get some more, you know, proper things and that. But to keep it PG. But anyways, people were stunned by what was going on. The next thing we know, two police officers were taking him away in cuffs. Couldn't believe it. Sussex police confirmed last night that a man in his 20s and another man in his 40s had been arrested in the early hours. Yesterday, they're still in question, being quizzed by the police. Witnesses say they had been at the Arch for a couple of hours before the incident. Apparently, the nightclub was actually hosting a weekly promo night, popular among students. Bissouma's on 45k a week, and we know he's one of the top earners and all these sort of things. Apparently, last month he declared his aim to be the best in the Premier League. I'm not going to read that out because it's irrelevant. Interesting career. He's born in Ivory Coast, but he's now a Mali international, and we know he's a quality footballer. But football don't mean nothing if you're doing fuckery, people. So again, don't want to speculate until things come to light. But as you lot can see here, Brighton and her Hove Albion footballer held over alleged sexual assault. And to be fair, apparently some of you were sending me in the DMs yesterday saying that he's been removed from the Mali. 2 days ago, he was named in the squad for the Mali international break, and now he's been removed. So again, is that a coincidence, or are these things connected? For what it's worth here, a Premier League footballer has been arrested on suspicion of sexually assaulting a woman. The man, who is in his 20s and plays for Brighton and Hove Albion, was arrested at a nightclub in Brighton early on Wednesday. A man in his 40s is also being questioned. The woman is receiving specialist support from officers. So there you have it. Brighton apparently said it was helping the police with the investigation, and the matter is subject to a legal process, and the club is therefore unable to make further comment at this time. So again, they haven't quite, rid their hands of Mendy, but again, Mendy got arrested, and apparently his don in his 40s was there. It kind of says it there. So again, let's read between the lines. It is what it is. Trust, bro. There's certain things you don't joke about, bro, and this ain't one of them. It just, to be honest, if you bust jokes about rape and all these sort of things, it says more about you than it does about anything. It's quite disgusting, man. You know me, I like a laugh at the joke. This isn't one of them. And if you respect women, or you respect anyone's rights to just not be, doing things forcefully, then it is what it is. You know how I feel. If Bissouma's done this, just like if Mendy's done this because he's in the jailhouse, them man there, I want to say they should die, but death is too easy. I've told you lot before. You send them to the jailhouse. You put them. You put what's the thing called? You put a chain to their leg. Every day they go out into the sun or the rain or the cold or whatever. There's big boulders. They just smack it up with a hammer until their back breaks, until their shoulders ache, until they beg you to put a bullet in their head. And no, they have to continue. If you're not gonna do that, then it's a jungle justice thing. Tie them up with some tires. You know what needs to happen in it. There's no room in this world for rape or boy and these things, and especially in the UK, because these lot do not get birdied. These lot get little sentences. Of course, there's probably some incidences a man's been put away for time, but in comparison to some other crimes, bro, these men are out here, and half the time it don't even make it to trial in that. So it's proper scummy, man. Proper scummy. And again, I don't want to talk on things that have happened, but why is it always these ballers that abuse their power? Like, you lot got the money. You can have almost any, with consent, you can have almost any woman or whatever you want. You can find women that will give consent. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? But it probably is a power thing for these lot. They're used to they everything they want in life is a yes thing. Now, again, I don't want to speculate on this Bissouma thing further because there could be variables. People could be innocent, people might not be innocent. So let's just let time take its course. For what it's worth, that's all I've got to say. But yeah, it don't look good, especially being arrested for sexual assault. And footballer or not, you're not gonna last in the jailhouse on that. But yeah, man, it is what it is, man. These man deserve the worst. Lava for them, bro. Trust me. Trust me. Bare things, bro. Cut out their tongue. Bare stuff needs to happen to these lot, man. Bare fuckery needs to happen. I can't even, because we was going off on a tangent, I can't even see the results of the poll. But I did think you lot, that was the majority said it would be bad news. Make sure you're subscribing on all of these things. Are man just trying to get cancelled, or are they finally getting caught? Probably getting caught, bro. Because, you know, it probably wouldn't surprise me. There's probably been incidences like this, and these footballers just paid a little hush money and whatnot. And more time, you know, when it's celebs, it's probably even harder for a rape victim, because you're going to get scrutinized more, whether it's happened or not, or sexual assault. People are going to say, you know, you're lying, you're gold digger, you're just trying to get clout off, man. You know, you're going to be stress tested a bit more. This is why, you know, sometimes you can't always say, oh, because a man's walked away, he's innocent, or it hasn't gone to trial, she's lying. There's a lot of variables to it, and it's a very emotive thing, really and truly. Sexual assault and these things, you know, you don't have the right to someone's body without consent. And again, you know, why you wouldn't want consent, I don't know, because I think it's a mental illness. Because again, I can never put my feet into the shoes of these sort of guys, but you know, how does it make you feel some sort of way knowing someone's not on it? Don't you want the woman to be on it? Like, what's going on? But let's allow it with all this, man. All this, I call it fuckery, innit? It is fuckery. I talk about it because I think it's a privilege for us to say we don't want to speak about it. Similar to racism, it's a privilege to say let's not speak about it. Someone can't escape that, you know. Sigurdsson, Mendy, Bissouma, Wagwan for these, man. I don't know. Sigurdsson seems guilty. Mendy, clearly something's going on in it for City to throw their hands over you. There's got to be some sort of something conclusive for you to be in the jailhouse, you know. Obviously, you know, Bissouma, give him the luxury of, we don't know all the facts, so we have to allow it. But yeah, man. Man said, how can I like the stream? I'm new to Twitch. I don't think there's actually a way to like. I think there's, what's cheering though? You know, there's cheering or something, but I don't know, man. Seemingly it was a nightclub, so there should be evidence if true or fake. To be fair, that's not necessarily the case. New nightclubs can have obviously blind spots. And also, again, I don't really want to think about it deeper, but it's also the level of sexual assault. It could be obviously down to intercourse, he could be groping, he could be doing a mazza, I don't know. So again, it all depends. But like you said, video evidence, DNA evidence, all these sort of things should be put into place. So hopefully justice is served, whether man's innocent or if he's done it, the book should be thrown at man. And that's that, in it. Away from all of that, for on a final note, people, because it's actually killing my mood, really. But yeah, man, love to see all the comments. Spending / having money doesn't mean success. 100%, and Arsenal a testament to that. As much as we claim we're broke and we're struggling and things, look how much money has been spent. So you're right. Can every top 6 club get a takeover then? I would imagine so. I mean, if the Glazers were effing off, I can't imagine there'd be anything holding United. Arsenal technically, we're not top 6, but I don't imagine there's an issue there. I don't think Levy would, to be fair, you know, I don't know if anyone wants to invest in the area of Tottenham, at least before it goes through the gentrification thing widespread, but wouldn't imagine there's a problem for Tottenham. If FFG want to sell, wouldn't imagine there's a problem for Spurs, for Liverpool. You know, if Arsenal ever up for sale, I can't imagine we'd be short for offers, as mad as we've been. City, can't imagine their owners going, but again, they won't be short for offers. So again, the traditional top 6 or top 4 or whatever, yeah, man, probably will not be an issue in that regards, man. So it is what it is, man. Oh, History is one nasty brother, bro. Nasty, bro. He's had a few good games. Now he thinks he's invincible. Who's that? Who are you speaking about? You know, to be fair with you, let's just, yeah, man. So let's see what's going on there. Wilshere is training with the first team. DG, keep it PG. I've kept it PG, but you know, apologies if we've gone left, but I can only say what I feel in my heart, man. You know, the good thing about Twitch and YouTube, you put not for kids. So yeah, man. And I apologize. You know, it's technically not watershed time, but it is what it is. Make sure you're following and all those sort of things. Please make sure you're watching the ads to support the thing as well. Just ran another 1 minute one. They do a lot. Pure nastiness, 100%. Facts, DG. These things are almost impossible to prove / disprove. Exactly. Like, again, I'm not gonna lie. One of the best players in the world and whatnot. But what we can't act like or turn a blind eye, and I think we're all guilty of it, is, certain, world-class players, best players ever that have made a return to the Premier League on the backdrop. They've got their own little arcades going on. Whether they've done it or not, it's not gone away. So there's something there, really and truly. It's difficult to prove / disprove. There's many different things, and obviously, if I'm someone that's a professional footballer, and you can have the best lawyers in the world, and they can do things for you. They can, they can stress test the actual victim and make it in a way that she was moving mad, and and create, what's the word, man? What's the word for it? Like, uncertainty among the jury and whatnot, and then people walk. As they say, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove in the court of law, and that disgusts me. But yeah, man. And 100% it happens more than people think, bro. Are you like, in the last 18 months, yeah, I've always known women go through a lot, but in the last 18 months, I've spoken to a lot of women like that are close to me and whatnot, and it's men are mad, in the UK, well, everywhere, but in the UK, certain men are mad. Like, the things they go through, just to fit, women are scared to just say, I don't want to give you my number, because madness starts happening. Some man need to just chill out, man. Scaring the galley and that. What's going on, man? Just moving mad. Certain dons out here just moving mad, man. DG, will you be doing a stream with Giles again anytime soon? Need to shout him. That's my guy, man. Need to shout him. Probably, if he's free, why not, man? It's always a good convo. He's always got good chat. And yeah, man, says good things, got a good account. Make sure you follow him up and things like that. Random thought. If Martinelli was coming through when Wenger was still in the job, do you think he would be on another leave? I think you mean, would he, would Martinelli succeed, basically? I can't lie. Again, I don't like to do the ifs and buts things, but I do think Guendouzi, I think Saliba, Guendouzi, Martinelli, pardon me, to a degree, Reece Nelson. If I said Saliba, I think they really, really enjoy playing under Arsene Wenger, for what it's worth. I think, do you know what? And it's a bit different because he's playing under Arteta, but I would have loved to have seen Smith-Rowe under Arsene Wenger, to be completely honest with you. And actually Saka as well, if I'm honest with you. That would be a very interesting one. Good one there. The problem is Newcastle is easier / better value for a takeover than Arsenal right now. Is it? It's cheaper, but then you're gonna have to invest, and things cost. To get a coach like Pep Guardiola, that's a yearly salary. An expensive sum, and his coaching staff. You're gonna have to bring in players. You look at City. It's just the surface. Look at what City have done since that takeover. They've monopolized. They've got they've got the City network, which I think is amazing. I do all this stuff in Football Manager. They've got a team in Australia, a team in France, team everywhere, America, everywhere. And then they share they share their players and whatnot, but they share their expertise. Their scouting network. They source the best local Manchester talent, them and United and whatnot. Then they bring in the best people from all the others, quote unquote, smaller clubs. Let's be real. And it's that sort of level, really and truly. Now, Newcastle have to do that. I think Arsenal have a base, and we have the London factor, and we're doing better than Newcastle. Obviously, there's a lot of bias there, but I wouldn't agree if we're better value for money. To saying that, I do agree with what you're saying, because it comes down to the owner. Newcastle, Mike Ashley, it's not that you don't want to sell. You need to put offers. Kroenke is going to want twice as much as probably Arsenal is worth, or something along those lines. So 100%, broski. When you put it like that, Raz, this is why I love you lot, man, because you'll always say interesting things, man. I think anyone would have to overpay for stuff. Overpay for everything, man. You would. And to be honest, they can afford the outlay of Conte. I mean, what they need to do now is try and find their own Pep Guardiola or their own Jurgen Klopp, really and truly. Feel a bit sorry for Rafa Benitez. I think he could have been that, really, or been all right for them. But yeah, Trax has said, morning, DG. What's your opinion on Newcastle, and who do you think would be a good manager for their new era? Trax, I'm going to circle back over that on YouTube at 11:30. I've spoken about it already. But in terms of a good manager, I mean, they can puff out their chest and get anyone now. Conte, all of these sort of guys, You reckon Newcastle haven't got Deadwood? Fair play. I'm happy for I'm happy for the fans. Better the devil you don't know than the one you do know, in my opinion. DG, do you think Arteta is doing Martinelli dirty by giving him very little minutes? To a degree, yes, but on the other hand, he hasn't taken this minimal chances that have been given. It's difficult, but yeah, man. Smith-Rowe and Saka under Wenger is a scary thought. Still, I'd wish we had still had Ozil, to be fair with you. Trust, it's like certain men don't have mothers. Also, it's like certain men are just not human when they do fuckery, man. DJ, I'll be damned if Newcastle get Zidane, Conte, Ten Hag, and United impose Oli on us. I'm not sure Oli will go anywhere, but it is what it is. You know, any manager, I think, you know, depending on how Newcastle sell the project, it would be interesting. Why would you not want to go somewhere where you're enticed of, you know, breaking into the top 6 and all of these things? Why not, man? Actually, mad how many girls I've heard been spiked in club, bro. There's man are dangerous out here, bro. Trust me, man. Certain men are dangerous out here, bro. Scary. Not a way to like on Twitch. Just follow and watch or sub and donate. Appreciate that. Oh, these men are just spooky, man. Bro, Joe Linton. I can't lie, I'm no football expert, but you see Joe Linton, yeah, I only got put onto him because I was watching Hoffenheim when Nelson was there. And I told you, man, he was shit then. Like, and then when Newcastle spent 40 million on him, I was like, cool, is there something I'm missing here? Maybe I don't know, because these man have scouting qualifications and the rest of it, and they've been in the game. But I was like, nah, this guy is tired. I'm not agendering him because he scored against Spurs, but tired. Newcastle deadwood is way easier to get rid of the wages, won't be as high as Arsenal players. Obviously, 100%. Newcastle will end up with Howe or someone like that. That might not be the worst, to be fair with you. If I'm honest with you, that might not be the worst of decisions to make, really, because to be honest, you do need stability, you know, if you're going to rebuild and develop and do all of these sort of things. So it would be interesting. Should we touch on Kylian Mbappe, people? Obviously, Kylian Mbappe's family, his mum's had something to say now. Kylian's been speaking, you know, everyone and their nanas had something to say. And it is a bit tiresome consistently speaking about Kylian Mbappe. Now it seems like there's a lot of speculation and whatnot, people. If I actually find, where's the initial quotes, man? I'll go through his minutes has been released, but his mum's been speaking. I need to find the link. Where is it? Don't flop me. We'll just go through this Madrid zone thing. So yeah, if I share my screen with you lot, people, initially let's see what his mum has had to say. Apparently, like again, a couple of quotes have been sourced. And to be fair, if I was PSG, quite frankly, I'd be pissed off because, and they're undoubtedly allowed to be pissed. They're allowed to be pissed off because you've got Benzema consistently flirting with Mbappe, Perez talking, Mbappe talking, his mum talking. Again, these things are coordinated. They're going on the assault. You know, his mum basically said, you can't blame us for leaving on the free. But then Kylian said they're negotiating for a contract. So I don't know. Everything's up in air. Sorry. But apparently Faiza Lamari, who is Kylian Mbappe's mother, Kylian's father and I are advisors. When he wanted to go to Madrid, his dad didn't want to. And I was telling him to go until Paris 2024. But Kylian had his reasons. When he has his reasons, you go with him. And at the end of the day, his mum and dad can advise him. It's his career and it's a short career. Now, no one can blame us for leaving for free because last summer we tried to leave so PSG can receive a transfer fee. That's something Mbappe has correlated as well. His mother said, I'm involved in the negotiations along with his father and his lawyer. We rejected the first offer from PSG and a second one in mid-August. That's in relation to renewing him. You know, which this saga is strange. Trust me, it's strange, people. Kylian's father wanted him to stay at PSG. Me and his lawyers wanted him to leave, but none of us decide. It's up to him. So again, that's probably, you know, Kylian has to decide. And I'm sure he does, because the way he speaks is quite refreshing when he says, you think there won't be criticism when I go to Madrid. He's very self-aware. He's very in a healthy way. He's very arrogant, and I love it. If I'm PSG, I'm tapping up his dad. I'm like, pause. I'm like, listen, I'll give you a house. I'll give you everything. Make sure this guy signs a new deal. Tell him any sweet lie under the sun to get his son to sign that new deal. Mother always knows best. And if he's a mummy's boy, he's going to lean towards his mother. It's Kylian Mbappe's future. He needs to decide. I think he's earned the right to go to Madrid. I think he's done it the right way. He didn't just go to from Monaco there, and he might have struggled. He earned his chops at Monaco. He stayed in France and developed at PSG. He's got to a Champions League final. He's had standout performances like at the Camp Nou. Now, if Real Madrid want you as part of the rebuild, you go. You know, and he's been on that really and truly. So go and have your career. Really and truly. Scrolling all the way down, wanting to leave doesn't mean you hate the place. where you currently are. Picking between PSG and Real Madrid was almost like picking between your parents for Kylian. I don't decide Kylian's future. His father doesn't decide. His lawyer doesn't decide. When he wants something, you can do whatever you want. He'll still do it. But hey, we didn't want to leave for free. That's why we wanted to leave last summer, so PSG can receive a fee. So again, I guess they're trying to make PSG say, "Oh, listen, you got to let man go in Jan, or you've got to do something really and truly." And I don't doubt Kylian. He wants to be center of a project, and you would be the poster boy of the new era with Real Madrid. Obviously, Benzema will probably be the flag bearer, but you'd have you, Vinicius Junior, a couple of these other players. Hazard's not going to be there forever either. In that regards. And his mother said, if you take this Real Madrid team and you add Kylian and 3 or 4 more players, that team is not the same. Kylian wants to be at the center of a project. He wants constant challenges. Fair play, you know. And again, it's true. You know, you get Pogba on the free, you've got Camavinga, you got Mbappe, you get Haaland. That's 3, 4 players that change the landscape of things, really. You know, maybe PSG would have been more receptive to letting him leave had they won the Champions League. You know, and I'm sure that would be the ideal scenario. Who would replace Mbappe? I don't know, because you'd have to find, you know, they'd have to go for Karim Adeyemi. For me personally, if I was PSG, I'd say, you know what, boy, we just got to buy Mo Salah, really and truly. If I'm honest with you, we just got to get that one there done then. Or we got to get Haaland to PSG now then. Last summer, Kylian chose Real Madrid because he wanted to fulfill his dream and to be at the beginning of the story. Kylian needs to feel happy. If he's sad, he could tell you, I'm retiring. And he tells us that often. Boy. Apparently, his mother said a possible renewal. We're talking at the moment. Everything is well, but we'll reach a conclusion. One thing is certain, he'll give everything to win the Champions League. Apparently, Real Madrid only had 2 untouchables off topic, which were Benzema and Vinicius. To be fair, Benzema's earned that right. Shout out Benzema. Bit scary, you know. Mbappe's denying contract talks. His mum saying something's going down. Again, that's actually something you learn about in the 48 laws of power, is to intentionally confused. So it is a bit of an issue for Leonardo and whatnot. And this is probably going to have bad blood, because I can imagine in a couple of years, I honestly see Hakimi leaving PSG to go and be reunited back with Mbappe and return to Real Madrid, if I'm honest with you. And for PSG's project, you know, it's interesting because Messi's in his late 30, in you know, the 30 region, where he's not going to be there forever. Neymar isn't going to be there forever. Mbappe, again, could have been the guy. But again, what's PSG going to look like? Don't know why I clicked on this, people, really and truly. Where is Kylian Mbappe's RMC? Don't flop me now. Where is it? Is it here? Is it here? Oh, I think I've lost it, folks. Is it this? That's not it. Sorry, folks. One sec. I need to find it. I think I've lost his RMC thing where he's actually been speaking. The hell is it? That's jarring, man, because Kylian Mbappe's comments with RMC are supposed to all be here. Give me a sec, people. We'll find this. It's his mother. I don't think I'm going to find it. Have I clicked off it? What's going on here? RMC. There it is. Sorry, folks. I think we're back again. Sorry, folks. Temporary breakdown. But yeah, we're here now, people. As you lot can see here in RMC, he's giving his exclusive interview. What's all of that? Pause that, man. I said at the end of July that I wanted to leave. Kylian Mbappe opens up about his aborted transfer. If anything that don't make sense, Google Translate has done me dirty, people. I haven't done anything. Hold on here. But for what it's worth, he said, and he actually gave some other interesting sound bites about his beef with Neymar, how these things just happen. You know, he spoke about the fans booing him and whatnot. He said he would boo himself as well. Very refreshing young man in how he speaks, how he continues himself, how he carries on. Like, you can tell he's really been media trained. He really has, you know, he's had some tough moments. You know, everyone probably, PSG fans probably hate him, didn't have the best of Euros. And I'm sure that was spoken about a lot. But yeah, man, he said, I wanted to leave because from the moment I did not want to extend. I wanted the club to have a transfer fee. Let me zoom in for you lot. Hopefully you can see this and read it if you want as well. To have a transfer fee, to have a better quality replacement. He says, it is a club which has brought me a lot. I've always been happy the 4 years that I've spent here, and I still am. I announced it early enough that the club can turn around. I wanted everyone to come out grown up, to go out hand in hand and to make a good deal. And I respected that. I said, if you don't want me to leave, I'll stay. He said, I said I wanted to leave and I said it soon enough. People said I turned down 6 or 7 contract extensions, that I don't want to talk to Leonardo anymore. That's absolutely not true. I'm told, Kylian, now you're talking to the president because that he, Leonardo, was not able to find a resolution with you. Maybe that's why. It's not for me to judge, but my position was clear. I said I wanted to leave and I said it quite early. Me personally, I did not appreciate too much of the fact of, yes, he's coming the last week of August because that's a thief. I said at the end of July that I wanted to leave. So again, he wanted to leave the right way. He wanted to leave through the front door at PSG. He didn't want to leave like a coward. That's one thing I saw with him leaving Monaco, and I respect it. So it is what it is. And I think, again, in that interview, he gave a lot of interesting sound bites in relation to his beef with Giroud or forced beef, the Euros. Again, he's gone through a lot, and he's actually going through what I said. He's gone out of the honeymoon period. When he was coming up, everybody loved him. He was a breath of fresh air. Now he's called arrogant and all of these sort of things. Now, I'll be interested to see what happens. I'll be interested to see the knock-on effect. But I think we all know it'll be a great, fantastic signing for Real Madrid. I mean, you get Mbappe for free. You throw the bag at Haaland, whose release clause come into effect. You've got Camavinga. Pogba might even come there. You can, things can happen. I know Pogba's spoken about of returning to staying at United, returning to Juventus, Real Madrid, PSG every week. Mino, Rinola, and Pogba are onto something. But Real Madrid very easily could start their rebuild, man. If I'm honest with you. Yeah, he said he called him a tramp. I mean, the handbags happen at football. Coming to be the second coming of Thierry Henry. Hazard return. I mean, I like Hazard, but you got to get back to your best if you can, man. He will go for free so they don't have to give Monaco 40 M's. Probably. They probably missed out on a transfer fee unless they do something in January. It'd be nice to see him playing on the left at Real Madrid alongside Vinicius and Benzema. Just finished my day's activities. Big up DG. Big up yourself, my guy. Appreciative. Arsenal have a good base in foundation, but your owners are the worst in the Premier League. Your club will return to top 4 if your owners get serious. True. I don't know about I'm not trying to defend them, but I don't know if they're the worst in the Premier League, but they've got to definitely be up there. I also wanted to vaguely speak about Gavi and Pedri, people. Now, obviously, Pedri played no part against the Italians yesterday, but when he did, he bossed it. And I think if you look at Gavi, Ferrati's one of the best centre mids in world football to me. Threw him around like a ragdoll, couldn't get close to him. There was a lot of talk about Gavi. He's started off well at Barca, saying he don't deserve the call up and things. One of the best players, if not the best player from a Spain perspective on the pitch yesterday. He bossed it. He ran rings around the midfielders. He put in his work defensively. Obviously, there was a couple of times he showed his youthful naivety with the end product, but he looked very good and very cultured. And I've said it before, when you look at Gavi, when you look at Fati, when you look at Pedri, Barcelona get that right on top of investing properly. They could return or they could have a good base there. Ansu Fati, who the minute he's fit will be back in the Spain team. Shout out Luis Enrique for the Catalonia propaganda. The minute someone comes through at Barca, he gives them their debut. Gavi was amazing, and I don't want to go too far, and they're not the same, but I'm sure the conversation will be said. I'd love to know your opinions. Could Gavi and Pedri be the new Xavi and Iniesta? Now, I don't think anyone really plays like Xavi and anyone really plays like Iniesta. I think if anything, right now, I think Pedri plays more like Iniesta. But if anything, he's probably going to be the Xavi, and I think Gavi would be the Iniesta, if I'm honest with you. So that could actually be a good partnership for them. And it just reminds me of, can that be that for them? And then obviously you've got Ansu Fati, who's going to be amazing. You've got Ilama Bach, I can't say his name. You've got Nico. You've got a couple other decent Barcelona players as well. You've got Balde, the left back, who I like a lot. You've got a couple other talented boys in La Masia. So if they get back to their foundations, who knows what that club can say. But for me, I just get Xavi and Iniesta vibes by them. But let's let them develop in it. Scary what's going on, though, man, where Gavi and Pedri are concerned, if I'm honest with you. Again, the fact that these lot are 17 and we've been doing bits is crazy. And obviously, if you didn't know, Gavi's obviously become Spain's youngest international, and he didn't let the occasion swallow him alive. He rose to the occasion and he bossed it. And now, he's playing in a final for his country and deserves to, really and truly. Obviously, this summer, when you look at it, Pedri became the youngest to represent Spain at a major tournament, and now Gavi's become the youngest player to represent Spain in history. So yeah, man, and I mean it's quite scary, really, because you're having a number of Barcelona youngsters that are doing well, and you've got Ronald Koeman who's just effing them about. And for me, the fact with Gavi, he's one of the youngest of his age group. Just by looking at his age, he's born in 2004 and August of that year. So it is what it is. And I mean, one thing that's probably shagged it is, you've got to shout out Barcelona's recruitment, because Gavi's actually come from Real Betis, and obviously I think Las Palmas had Pedri, so spare a thought for all of them people. From the age of 11, Gavi's been highly sought out. Well, younger than that, at the age of 11, he joined Barcelona. So yeah, man, justice well spent. Let's hope there's a windfall for Real Betis and things like that. So I apologize. It's not really a Catalonian thing. He's more from the mainland, from what I can see. There ain't Betis closer to Madrid than it is Barca, isn't it? In Madrid, I could be wrong. My geography is poor, but like I said, I just get Xavi and Iniesta vibes from them two. And yeah, man, I think it could. They've never played together for Spain, but I think it could happen. Well, yeah, I think they could really have a good partnership, people. If I'm completely honest with you, lot. So let's hope it is that. What's all of this Twitch? What are you saying, Twitch? What is Twitch telling me? Create a dashboard. Twitch is on its weirdo-ish again. What else are you guys saying? Football is also better when Barca are one of the top dogs. I believe that. But at the same time, the club's so correct, man. It's so corrupt. Barcelona youngsters are looking very cold. Could be the next great La Masia generation. You've got Demir as well. He's doing his thing. Man said Gavi and Pedri feeding Ferran, inject it. That could be amazing. Paul Torres and Bastonia solid. I don't think Bastonia had the best of games yesterday, especially for the goal. But the first goal. But yeah, man, he made an important block, and he is someone that is earning his chops in Serie A, and someone that will take over the mantelpiece from Chiellini and obviously Bonucci, who got sent off yesterday. I didn't think Busquets was that amazing yesterday, but he also had a great game as well, man. FFG are the worst owners, in my opinion. I mean, it's coming to light that they're not really, they got a lot of plaudits from everyone, and I gave them plaudits because of what they were doing with Liverpool. But Liverpool fans have been telling us they're not that great, really and truly, and it's Edwards, Klopp, and a couple other man that's been doing that. So yeah, FFG could be in trouble. Yo, DG, this is giving me Barca vibes when Neymar left. What do you think? Pardon me, with Barcelona, with PSG, not too sure. And said his mum wants the Spanish son. Leonardo's moving like a prime 90 Suge Knight. Mike Ashley's terrible owner. Barca is one of the best talent identifiers. At times, definitely. I wouldn't say where their first team is. They're definitely when they're bringing man into La Masia, yeah, but not their first team at all. So that's that. Xavi and Iniesta. What else have we got? Delete that. I mean, we've touched on that. There's been Ballon d'Or shouts. Let's see what's going on there, people. To wrap this up, we might as well get that one in there. So where are we at? 56. Now, to be fair to you, I think Messi should always win it. But I think it probably, if it wasn't, but if bias aside, I would look towards Benzema or Lewandowski personally. But you could also, I'm sure Chelsea fans would say, listen, we won the Champions League. What's going on? What's going on there, really? But looking at it, people, if we just look at this Sky Sports article, Mo Salah, Karim Benzema, Kylian Mbappe, and Haaland among Europe's most informed players. Is this the Ballon d'Or thing? I think I got the wrong article, people. Sorry, people, this is not the article. I can't lie, there was actually a very interesting article on Sky Sports. Love, man said Chiellini deserves to win it. Oh, it is the same article. Sorry, people. Ballon d'Or nominee announcements are due tomorrow, really. And these are the man. For me, I think Haaland could have a shout because just on output, Lewandowski probably deserves it. Benzema's played quite well, but it probably will go towards either Messi or Ronaldo. Whether Juventus lost their league title, Barca did fuck all. Whether they deserve it, it probably does deserve to go to another player. Really and truly, probably is quite more open than it should be. I think it probably deserves to go to Lewandowski. But if I'm honest with you, this article is just gassing up the thing. I know Mo Salah's probably the best performing player in Europe at the moment, but saying that, he's got the same amount of goals as Benzema. So what does that mean really and truly? You know, it's going to be interesting. Apparently, top 5 players this season: Benzema, Salah, Haaland, Mbappe, Dzeko, and Ozjarabal, who done quite well for Spain against Italy. Based purely on goal involvement, the France international is also out on his own with 16 in La Liga this campaign. Fucking hell. This is what I'm saying. Benzema, one of my favorite players. Incredibly, Haaland lands runner-up spot despite only playing 5 league games, having missed the 2 previous fixtures with a muscle injury. Crazy. Man are saying Decore, Gab Jesus, Antonio, and that it's not serious. Applying the same methods as above, over the past 12 months, Lionel Messi reigns supreme for pure form, with the Argentine looking to extend his record-breaking Ballon d'Or haul to 7 this campaign. Boy, for me, it probably should be Lewandowski. I'd give it to Messi because it's Messi, but probably should be Lewandowski in my opinion, man. As a Chelsea fan, has to be Lawa. He ripped us and Tottenham apart. Jorginho had an all right season last year. People need to stop saying his name. To be fair, there's every logic in giving it to a Chelsea man, but yeah, man. Kevin De Bruyne should be top 3, but unfortunately he won't. I disagree personally. I don't think it's quite been the same Kevin De Bruyne in a City shirt. I don't think he's playing better than Messi. He's played better over the year than Messi, than Lewandowski or Benzema. So immediately that rules him out of the top 3 for me. Probably lean towards a couple more Chelsea lads, really, just based on the European campaign. If it goes to Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, then the Ballon d'Or is officially a joke. It will be handed to one of them. But I do think Lewandowski or, like my man said, Uncle Ben's. How's your Sunday league season going, DG? Tough, man. I think we've got a win or two. I think we've got 1 win, 2 losses, or a win, loss, draw, something like that. Cup game this week where I'm not playing. So, yeah, man. Been a tough one. But this is what top division is for. Who's the next manager for Barcelona? Not a clue. How tall are you, my G? Jezza, are you moving to me? That's a bit booky, but last time I got stopped by police, they said 5'8". So, yeah, man. Lover for me, didn't he get 41 goals? No clue how many goals he did or didn't get, but I just think he had a very good season. And you hear the way he talks about it as well, comes talking bossy, as you should. I really like footballers who believe they should. I think there's too much bread in Messi and Ronaldo. I don't agree with all these things that, and anytime these two are playing, they should be given it. I think there's this, football and Messi they're not bigger than football. They're amazing footballers, but they're not bigger than football. And I just think it just seems a bit like the Nicki Minaj hive that the little galley come with, that you're just awarding man stuff just for their names, I mean, I think Messi deserves it, really, because based on him scoring goals. But if someone says no to Messi, I don't think Ronaldo done enough, really, what as Juventus did, really. So both of them could be out. For me, Benzema or Lewandowski. But yeah, man, it is what it is. The award is a joke. This could be a season where we see it handed to someone else. I wouldn't hold my breath, though, man. Really and truly, where that's concerned, man. You have to really, really see what else is going on in the world of football. Shout out to Wilshere for returning. Wait. Arsenal ain't even been linked with no one new. Apparently Ozil's well, look at Ozil, people. Some things never change. I can show you this to wrap things up. Wenger would suit Barca's playing style. Played better football than them at a point when we never had the finances to compete. As you lot can see here, Ozil unhappy with Fenerbahce bench duty as ex-Arsenal star tosses bib in front of coach. I mean, the nonsense continues. That is Ozil. He was an unused substitute when Fener took part in their latest outing, with Victoria Pereira opting not to introduce the German playmaker. He's apparently generated headlines in Turkey. I mean, I'm happy it's not Arsenal's problem. They won 2-1 without him. While Ozil would have been happy with the 3 points, he's been hoping for much more than a support role. He has already been forced to sit out a Europa League clash with Olympiacos after suffering a bout of the flu, but was in contention for minutes against Kasimpasa. He spent much of the second half warming up. Boy, so happy this is someone else's issue. So happy this is. So happy. Ozil's biggest dream was to dream. The biggest dream of the coach was to play the game on Thursday under the leadership of Ozil. Fair play, you know, fair play. I'm so happy this ain't our problem, man, bro. He's getting shagged. Lewandowski's been shagged. I think Ribery got shagged a year as well. 50 years from now, man, we'll be talking about having Lewandowski and Neymar deserve Ballon d'Ors over Messi and CR7. Neymar's been shagged. You know, I think Ribery had a strong case to get one. I think Lewandowski's been robbed. It just becomes breading. Like, it's a game of politics. It's not for who's performed the best. It's just become a game of politics. And it's just really, I want Messi to end with more Ballon d'Ors than Ronaldo, or I want Ronaldo to end with more. So we're going to vote accordingly and do little fuckeries such as that. So it's one of them ones. Obviously, people, for extra live streams and videos, subscribe to me on YouTube. And don't forget, in 29 minutes, we're going live on YouTube, people. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. All for Paris Catwalk, man, said, make sure you're here. Apparently, Ozil is the 6th all-time in assists. They need to play him, needs to get top 3. Bloody hell. Struggling. Politics and PR is all it is, man. Pure politics and PR. That's all it actually is. But I can't lie, people. I'm going to wrap up this live stream. It's been a fantastic hour or so. Like I said, I'm going live right away. You know, how many minutes? You know, 28 minutes until I go live. All you need to do is open up another link, open up another tab, better yet, and go onto YouTube. I'll be back on Twitch later today, 7:15 business, as we, you know, we'll be watching Belgium versus France. Join me for the build-up, in-game commentary, and obviously closing thoughts of this semi-final in the UEFA Nations League. One love to everyone that's been here. One love to everyone that was at the streams yesterday and he's supporting across all these things, man. Over to YouTube in 30 minutes. Subscribe with Amazon Prime for free to support the channel and whatnot, people. One love to all the Twitch gang. I'm going to love and leave you lot, people. Make sure you're checking your schedule so you're aware of all the content. I know, like I said, I'm live later today. Tomorrow is Football Manager business. On that note, I'm out.
There's always just that TAKEOVER that defending. I think it's like